excited when I hit the 100. And now 4,000? Time flies. Yep, time flies, chat. Anyways, I can thank all of you all of this support. I really appreciate it. I hope I can be good enough for you all the more this family grows, so straight to the point now. I bet you guys are wondering what the fuck is going to be the special video about this time. Maybe some of you following my means order think maybe it's going to be Alba. But maybe others think it is, Edgar. And you guys are right. This time it's about my little painter. Well, I was kinda conflicted. I was conflicted between choosing Alba or Edgar. But I won't lie, I am not gonna talk about a hunter I don't have full or very good knowledge about. And well, I use Alba, yeah, but he's still a backup hunter for me that I sometimes forget about. Those are my reasons. Still, if one day I learn him completely or almost, then I might drop a special video guide about him. But that seems a pretty far future, to be honest. Back to Edgar. Well, I know he's the best survivor. Yeah, no need to remind me. But please, don't blame me. He's my main survivor, even when I'm still flopping after mining him for 3 years. However, I won't call this a guide. I mean, I don't think I'm good enough to give a good guidance as a survivor. In consequence, I might call this Things I Do as Edgar. How I try to use him. Justice for no meta survivors. Anyway, still, I will try my best, talking about what I do as painter. Especially, I want to talk about something that, at least to me, as a main painter, has killed me many times. I know, I'm not talking about assignments. I'm gonna talk about something that involves your teammates. Skills! Playstyle. Okay, it's gonna be difficult for me to play the survivor, so I will try to pass by his skills. Firstly, the aesthetic sensitivity. Sick. In other words, the pain is this. I wasn't in a game where Edgar had 3 paintings, so I was always used to him having 2 paintings. It must have been a luxury having 1 painting more. Anyways, that's not the point. The in-game descriptions says that you can start memorizing the hunter's face at 12 or 13 meters away. But we don't have rules in the game. In other words, when the hunter is at a mid-distance, you can start memorizing the face. Also, please don't be looking behind outside, because you can hit accidentally a wall. It has happened to me too many times. Also, since painters move, it's way easier to have the hunter's face memorized more early. When you reach this line, start painting as soon as possible, even if you're in the gear. But if you think that you have the situation pretty much under control, then you can try to memorize fully the hunter's face. And now, the so famous topic, the penis. Yeah, I know. If the hunter brings a assignment or is undead, we are dead. Now that I read this, it's also funny. But anyway, I know that I can give much solutions. One is that you pay very much attention to what skill the hunter has, or depending on the character, what trait they may have. But predicting isn't always correct. Because there are hunters that play the assignment against just one painter. Sorry, it's the frustration after years. Anyway, another solution that might work is using the old palette hit stunning trick with the painting. Or put the painting behind the vaulting spot. Sometimes unconsciously hunters can use assignment early and they actually fail. But be aware that as painters, we are always in danger because of assignments. About some painting's position, as I said, you can do the stun trick. Not that it wastes that much time, unless you have on the stun skill in your build. But hey, unless you can be safe for assignment, I guess. Another placement behind a vaulting spot, as I said before. And the other placements, well, firstly, be careful with each hunter's attack speed. When you are kiting, you can get hit even after putting the painting, if you are too slow. And secondly, the hunters can look away from the painting even if they are in the range. And if hunters don't look with their camera view directly at the painting, it doesn't work. It doesn't. I know that is an obvious thing. Maybe some will say that I'm pointing the obvious, but not everyone knows it. I have found tier 4 or 5 survivors who were practicing with Edgar and were wondering how I could avoid their paintings when I was in the range. In case you didn't know this, now you know. I also gotta add that apparently you cannot use two paintings right after the other. Or in other words, if you are camping a painting and the hunter gets stunned by that painting, you won't be able to use the second painting after a second. Also, you gotta remember that during last effort you cannot paint. And to finish the paintings topic, after using one painting you will get a speed buff of 2% permanently for the whole match. And this can be stacked up to 2 times. I personally don't notice it, but here's the comparison. Finally, remember that after using one painting, your location will be revealed for 5 seconds after the stun ends. I say this just to remind newer painters not to hide after using their paintings, because the hunter will see you. This is all I can say related to the paintings. And now, it's time to go for the topic of the skill I didn't mention. And this is related to rescuing. Rescuing a painter! Intuition. This is a skill that apparently a lot of players forget about when they have a painter in their team. And it angers me a lot. Ahem. To summarize, this passive skill means that Edgar isn't affected by the 50% progress of a rocket chair. Or to be more clear, 1. He won't be killed in his second chair if in the first chair he reached 50 or more of the progress in the chair, unlike a normal survivor. 2. He will need to either reach 100% of the chair progress or to be cheered 3 times to actually die. Now, let's read the skill's description. He will not be affected by a rocket chair with 50% of progress. When he is put on a rocket chair for the second time, the progress will return to what it was the last time he was saved. This last sentence is the key. Now with a more visual representation. If a painter is rescued the first time, for example, at 30%, the next time the progress won't start at 50% like with a normal survivor, but it will start at 30% the second time he's cheered. Oh, and what's the problem with that? It's easy. Some of you might say, wrong! There are a lot of times where painters are killed early because they are rescued earlier than 2 times. Their double is the rescued, and this is basically wasting his skill. The ideal situation will be that if he's rescued early, rescue him later. And if he's rescued later, rescue him early at the second chair. For me, I think it would be perfect rescue him late at the beginning of the match or at 3 ciphers, and then the code for a bit, to then go to rescue him later. And if it's endgame, rescue him more early at 1 cipher, to then pop the private cipher, and in case he's caught again, the hunter will be forced to either camp him or leave him cheered. And if the others are opening the gate, they will either have time to open it, or if the hunter leaves the painter cheered to go to the gates, one teammate can save you after sneaking in. Really reminder not to risk and not to be greedy. If it's a 3-man, it's a 3-man. If you're gonna play painter, make your mind that you are gonna be a sacrifice most of times. Build! Well, I don't have much to say about this. I have broken windows about over time in my case for guiding. I also bring this perk for when I use my paintings to stun. Oh, and also maybe this perk will be good for him, so you can be even more of a pain in the ass to eliminate for a hunter. Oh, and also fight with it. But I will lie, I don't know how to use it. So here I can say anything. I'm sorry for that. Everything said, here I lead my build as painter. And that's all. I didn't say anything about rank because there isn't much to say about it. As painter, the only thing is have luck with your randoms. Have very much luck. So anyways, if you're gonna use painter, be aware that you are gonna have in your hands a guider that can also be used as a good support with his paintings. And what else can I say? Good luck and have fun! I really thank you all for all the support. I am still so surprised that I've grown this much. And hey, who knows? Maybe one day we will become a really big family. But for now, MiniBee out. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I will see you guys in the next videos. Bye bye.